Hi everybody, I'm Lori Duncan, physical therapist in Colorado, and welcome to Blog Talk. This is episode 10 of Blog Talk, Neutral Spine. Unfortunately, the world has decided that training neutral spine, it requires this tuck, and it does not require a tuck. True neutral, deep core activation does not move your bones, and we're going to get into that. What happens is when people are not training true neutral spine, which is how we walk, then with that tuck, it changes the angle of the glutes, it changes the angle of the back, and everything actually doesn't work as efficiently as it's supposed to. I know some of you are going to be like, what? I have been told this wrong my whole life. Believe me, I am trying to educate and train it. Okay, so here's the deal. We have 4 layers of abdominals, yes? And the 2 inners, right, that's our transverse abdominis and our internal abdominal oblique. When they contract, no bones move. Meaning, if I'm here and I'm at neutral, if I pull my belly in, do you see that I'm just pulling my belly in? I have not tucked. And so what happens is when people are training this is like 95% of the world, they're tucking. You'll even hear fitness people say, make sure your back is flat. That is not always true. It's sometimes true, but that's not always true. Meaning you want to make sure that you can just pull your belly in and have the original lumbar, right, curve that we should have. So that's true neutral core stabilization. All right, so a lot of times we're like, well, how do you find that? There's a couple of different ways. One of the easiest is to put your hand on your belly, take an easy breath in, and then breathe out as you pull your belly to spine to start feeling this low band of work. Okay, so that is number 1. You got to find it. So then how do you load it? Well, you can load it a couple of different ways, right? So we can load it with our lower extremity. So you're going to march. People do this all the time. They just do it really poorly. And march, keeping that neutral spine. Do you see the difference if I were to tuck and march? And it feels completely different. Actually, it feels really easy. So when you keep neutral spine, that's actually quite a bit of work. All right, so now here goes back to when people are like, oh, but my back should be on the ground. Well, that is true if you're like coming up into a curl, but watch, you guys, it's not because I tucked my pelvis first. It's because I'm in neutral spine, breathe in, breathe out, pull. I'm lifting my spine up and over my pelvis, which because the spine curves, the back is on the ground, but I'm not here. I hope you can really see the difference. All right, so that could be another way to train it up, right? And you can stay up there and, I don't know, do whatever you want to do. Then the other way to add both of them together, and this is just one way to do it. I'm just showing y'all, pull, and then you could march. But again, notice the difference if I were to tuck and do that. Do you see that it's at neutral, which is quite challenging to do. True deep core is very challenging. So what if you can't get onto the floor, right? And you're like, I can't lay on my back to do this. Well, you can do this in any plane. That's the beauty of it. So I'm just on my knees right now. You could do it in standing, right? So I can still to the side, right? Pull my belly into spot in and feel that activation. I can move my arms, right? Can't really march my legs, but I can still really feel that work going on. Again, I'm not tucking, which is super hard actually in kneeling. So maybe for some of you are like, well, I'm gonna do it that way because if it's really hard to do it, and you're gonna really just think about pulling again your belly away from that hand. Okay, so why am I making such a big deal about this? Well, it's really, really important, right? To have true core stability, right, you have to have those inner 2 layers activating. And I always try to tell people at no point when we walk, our pelvis is in neutral. We are not walking around like this. That looks terrible. It feels terrible. So if we're walking around, right, in neutral spine, why in the world are we not training it in neutral spine? I hope this blog talk was informative and gives you some information about how to find a true deep core neutral spine stability, and then how to load that stability with some strength using your legs or using your arms. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.